Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break on the 10-game NBA main slate here on Friday. A couple things before I get in the video. One, if you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos every single day talking about daily fantasy on NBA, and then about 4 videos a week talking about daily fantasy for NFL. So, also, I'm doing a weekly giveaway where all you have to do is have a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max 1 comment though per video. It'll start with my Monday Night Showdown video that I uploaded at the beginning of the week. We'll go throughout the week. We'll end on my Monday Night Showdown video at the end of the week. So how it works is however many videos I've uploaded for the week, you enter the giveaway that many times. So say, for example, if I have 10 videos up for the week, you enter the giveaway 10 times. And the winner receives $20 PayPal for myself. This is not sponsored by anyone, really. This is just me giving back to you guys because I really do appreciate all the support. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So first, before we get into the salaries here, let's take a look at the over-unders and the spreads that are out right now as of Thursday night. Again, we got 10 games. Let's see how many are out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games are out. So we actually have a good amount of them out. But yeah, we got Hawks, Pistons right now at 225 with the Pistons favored by 6.5 points. Hornets, Wizards at 233 with the Wizards favored by 6. Lakers, Thunders at 211 with the Lakers favored by 4.5. Heat, Bulls at 214.5 with the Heat favored by 4.5 points. Spurs, 76ers at 224.5 with the 76ers favored by 7.5 points. Cavs, Mavs at 220 with the Mavs favored by 10. Celtics, Nuggets at 206 with the Nuggets favored by 4.5. And Rockets, Clippers is sitting at 226.5 with the Clippers favored by 4.5 points. So as always, we will start with center today. And Anthony Davis at the top. They're listing him as, he's got the questionable tag basically every single time he plays. He's probable, though, with that shoulder injury. After a couple off games, right, 34 and 34, had an upside game with 61 fantasy points in that game against OKC. Now he gets the same matchup at 10.1K. I think he's fairly priced with a little bit of upside. Again, he's been a bit up and down. I think I probably prefer a couple other sped ups on the slate to Anthony Davis, but if you feel strongly about him at 10.1, I'm not going to talk you off him. Now, Embiid at 9.3K is interesting here against the Spurs. It's a pretty good spot, and it's a pretty good price tag for him as well. Normally, Philadelphia is a team, when everyone's healthy, it's kind of just a stay away, but this price tag for Embiid at 9.3K is pretty appealing, and it's a good matchup, right? So he actually is someone I'm considering on this main slate today, because I do think he has upside at the price. And the same thing with Jokic, right? I was all over him in the game against Houston, just because recency bias. The price is at an all-time low. He had back-to-back kind of disappointing games. He got in foul trouble. And then the game against Houston, right? 47 fantasy points. So I still think the price is not coming up on him enough. Boston is a tougher matchup, but the way to beat him is against the bigs. Like he's going to go up against like Daniel Tice, Enes Kanter. He should be able to have his way. So I think Jokic is very much in play once again. I think he goes a little bit lower owned on this slate again. He was pretty low owned, what was that, on Wednesday when I played him? He was like 5 to 10% owned in my tournament, so I wouldn't mind going back to the well there at 8.6K, and I think a lot of people will kind of forget about him on the slate. Drummond, so him and Blake were a bit of a letdown. I was actually at that game against the Bulls. Just super disappointing from the Pistons in general. It was a good spot. Drummond fouled out. Blake Griffin just didn't look like himself. 8.5K, it's a doable price tag. I still think he can get you there, but on this slate, don't know if I'm going to go there. Let's see. Gobert's interesting here. This game in general, though, there's definitely some blowout risk, right? We just saw what Dallas did to Golden State the other night. Just killed them. Doncic had I think he had 40 fantasy points in the first quarter. Something insane. Finished with 75 fantasy points in 3 quarters. Again, obviously it's a great spot, right? You can't get a much better spot here against Golden State. The concern is definitely the blowout risk, though. And in a 10-game slate, if you're playing cash games, you probably fade the Utah guys just because of the immense blowout risk, right? Bam and Adebayo at 8K. The price has come down a little bit, but I would like him more if he's in that 7K range. 8K, can he get you 40 to 50? He definitely can. It's a decent match here in Chicago. So I think he's not out of play, but just not my favorite play of the night. Kevin Love at 7.8K. If the Cavs are going to keep, the Cavs have been really bad. They've been atrocious. If they're going to keep this game close against Dallas, he's going to have a big game. I think he is still a bit underpriced. So another guy that I am considering, but kind of like Bam, I don't think he's my favorite play at that price. Capella's just playing huge minutes, like 35 every single night. This one should be not necessarily great for DFS purposes this game, but really, really fun game to watch. Houston going up against that Clippers team. Yeah, this one will be fun to watch in general. So I'm excited to watch it. But for DFS purposes, I think Capella is still in play just because of the minutes. The price is coming up though. That's 7.7K. There still is upside, but not as much as we could get him at like 6K, like he was a few weeks ago. Porzingis. So him and Doncic, I still like. The game against Golden State in 24 minutes put up 36 fantasy points. The price is still not coming up on him enough. The concern is, in this one too, there's definitely some blow risk. The Cavs have been terrible this year. So take that into consideration, but if the game stays close, I think Porzingis can very much get you there at that price tag. Let's see, other options. Thomas Bryant, the minutes have just been down on him. Mo Wagner's been playing well. Davis Bertans as well. Like Thomas Bryant normally was a guy that would get like 30 or so minutes every single night. But again, the minutes have been down. It is a good spot, but right now I just can't do it with how the minutes are kind of shaken out. Now, Jarrett Allen had a huge game that last game against Charlotte. Put up 47 fantasy points. So this is probable for this one. The thing is, you guys know if you watch my videos a lot by now, I don't like paying premiums for guys, and we're paying a premium for Jarrett Allen at 6.4K. It is a good spot, but this is like the highest price he's been at, I think, all year. So do I want to go there? I don't think so. Not at this price. Like it's a good spot, but again, you're paying a premium, so I'll probably look elsewhere and let others chase that big game. Rashawn Holmes, kind of the same thing. Like I like the spot, but again, he had a big game the last time, so the price went up, and you're kind of paying a premium, 6.3K. So I'm not saying I don't like Jarrett Allen and Rashawn Holmes, but I would like it if they were at cheaper price tags. Montrez, I do like the price, but with Kawhi and Paul George and Pat, like everyone there, it's just there's so many mouths to feed that I just think he's okay. Like if one of Kawhi or Paul George sat, then I would definitely look at Montrez. But right now with that lineup, like everyone healthy, it's kind of hard to play them. Wendell Carter Jr. and Markin were two guys that we liked there against Detroit. Both are pretty solid. Wendell Carter Jr. put up 37 that last game against Detroit. This is a tougher matchup, and the prices are coming up a bit on both of them. Right there, 5.4 and 5.5K. Now they're in the 6K range. I still think they're playable, but again, this is a tougher match here against Miami. Millsap at 5.9K. It's just I would just rather pay the extra couple thousand for Jokic. He just has way more upside, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think he's okay. If you want to go there for like a cash game play, sure. But again, I would much rather go for Jokic with that upside. Now, Tristan Thompson is an interesting contrarian tournament play, right? Because that game against the Knicks, he was like the ultimate chalk. In cash games, I didn't play cash games, but I heard he was like 90, 95% owned. In the tournaments, he was like 70, 75%. So he burned a lot of bridges with a bad game. He just hit a bad game, got in foul trouble, blew out. He only played 25 minutes. We've seen Tristan Thompson in close games play 30, 35 minutes, even like high 30s minutes. So this is, I'm not saying go there for cash, but it's an interesting contrarian tournament play because the ownership is going to be way down on him after he burns so many people. But if he plays like 35 minutes or so, I think he could crush that price tag. So again, he's someone I would consider in tournaments just because I think he goes super low owned. Now, Nance was a guy I was all over with Tristan Thompson out. With Tristan Thompson now back and the price elevated, I will look elsewhere. Cody Zeller, it's just kind of the same thing with Thomas Bryant, right? Like, it's a good spot for both of them. The minutes are down on him. 25, 16, 15 last game. I can't do it right now. So, if I knew Cody Zeller and Thomas Bryant were going to play 25 to 30 minutes, then I would like them. But again, the minutes are down on both those guys. Daniel Tice, kind of the same thing. Like you're paying a premium. He had a good game, 8 points, 14 boards, 6 assists, almost a triple double for Daniel Tice. Don't think we're going to expect that again. And there definitely is some foul trouble risk going against Jokic. So again, you're paying a premium for him. I'll probably look elsewhere. Let's see. Marquise Chris. So guys like him and Spellman, I would look to if Draymond misses, just because if Draymond misses, they have an 8-man rotation, and everyone's going to have to play some decent minutes, right? Marquise Chris played 27 in the last game. Now, it is a tougher matchup, and the price is up, but I still think I would consider him if Draymond misses. Let's see, what else? Dwight Howard's okay there at 4.3K. Again, Spellman, him and Chris would definitely consider those guys because again they played like high 20s minutes. So those are two value guys I would consider even in a tough matchup if Draymond does miss. Enes Kanter, just that this is only a GPP play just because the minutes have been way down on him. But there is a possibility that Tice gets in foul trouble, and then if he does, I think Kanter is the direct beneficiary. So that's only like a dart throw GPP play there at 3.7K. I think that's really it though for center. So let's move on to power forward. So again, Houston and the Clippers. I think this is going to be a fun game to watch, but not necessarily for DFS purposes. At least for the Clippers side, like with everyone fully healthy, just no one really sticks off the page. Now it is a good spot here against Houston, right? Houston plays at a fast pace, but there's a lot of mouths to feed. Kawhi, Paul George. I think they're priced fairly. I think one of them might, one of them could have a pretty solid game. If you're going to make me pick between Paul George and Kawhi, I think I would take the savings on Paul George, the almost $1,500 savings. But again, I'm not super high on either just because, Paul George, they got Kawhi, they got Beverly. Zubac will get some work in that first team unit. And then they got Lou Williams and Montrez out the bench. So there's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense. Blake Griffin, really, again, I was at that game myself, watch it personally. It's just, he did not look like himself. Drummond got in foul trouble. It's just a very disappointing game to watch. The price is up, even though he didn't have a good game. Can he go there? I think he could go there as like a low-owned contrarian play again because he kind of burned some people. But on the 10-game slate for cash games, I don't think I could do it. Let's see. What else do we got? Pascal, so I would definitely look to him if Draymond misses. He was kind of the go-to guy in the last game, played 40 minutes. I know the price is up, but I still think he would be a consideration if Draymond does miss, just because he'll have to play huge minutes. The other Philadelphia guys like Tobias, Horford, Ben Simmons, I think they're okay. I just think my main target would be Embiid there in that match against the Spurs. Jabari's at a playable price tag now at 6.1K, right? He was at like mid-sevens almost a couple weeks ago. Now he's down to 6.1. He kind of is that number 2 in the offense. So I think, again, another guy that is playable, but not my favorite play of the day. Let's see. Bertans had a big game. He's had back-to-back pretty solid games, right? 32 and 35 minutes. The minutes, or 32 and 35 fantasy points. The minutes are up on him too, 32 and 29. And this is a pretty solid spot. The downside is you are paying a premium, but he's playing pretty good. And it's a good matchup. So another guy that I think is actually in consideration today. Hunter, kind of the same thing. Like, he had a huge game, actually. 46 fantasy points in that game against Milwaukee. Other than that, though, he's been a very low usage guy. And now you're going to be paying a premium for him. So, yeah, I'll probably look elsewhere on this slate. Kuzma at that price, I think is okay. I think he got poked in the eye last game against OKC. That's when he only played 9 minutes. Normally, he's a guy that's going to play like 25 to 30 minutes. And at this price, I think he's very viable. So, yeah, that's something to keep an eye on, right? The eye, getting poked in the eye. But it looks like he's going to be good to go. So if he is, I think he's actually a pretty solid value play there, 4.3K. PJ Tucker, just a very low usage guy. The minutes will be pretty high, but he's just so low usage. Like, you gotta hope he just can knock down those threes. And at 4.1K, I think he's an okay value play. But again, I would definitely prefer a guy like Kuzma for a little bit more. But that's basically it for power forward. So let's move on to small forward. LeBron at the top at 11.3 seems pretty safe. He's been putting up, almost 50 fantasy points like every single night with a little bit of upside. There's a little bit of blowout risk here, but I think he's okay. I think he's an okay spend up. Not my favorite. I think I prefer a guy like Luka Doncic, even though there is some blow risk in that one. But LeBron, another guy, again, seems really safe. Will play big minutes if the game stays close. So have no issue with there if you want to go there for cash games. Even for GPPs, don't mind them. Jimmy Butler, I do kind of like the price on him at 8.3. It's a solid matchup here in Chicago. The last game against Cleveland, it blew out. He played 32 minutes and shot the ball 3 of 16. 3 of 16 and still put up 46 fantasy points. So right now, Jimmy Butler's playing great. He's playing huge minutes in close games. And if Chicago keeps this one close, I think Jimmy Butler could have a really good day. So I do like the price on him, even though it's up a bit. I still like him there at 8.3K. Ben Simmons had a big game, but again, I think I would lean towards paying a little bit more for Joel Embiid. So this is pretty big news right now. We got Bogdan Bogdanovic listed as questionable. I've been really liking him, playing him last few games here with no De'Aaron Fox. It's a good spot, so if he's good to go, I would like him still at that price. If he misses, we also have Corey Joseph listed as questionable as well. If they both miss, then a guy like Yogi Ferrell will become one of the top value plays of the slate. So that will be something we'll have to monitor. But yeah, if he misses, Buddy Hield's going to have to do a lot for this offense. He had a bad game last time out at 29 minutes, only put up 26 fantasy points. But I wouldn't mind going there if Bogdan just misses because they really don't have a whole lot of other guys they can go to. The Boston guys, the wings, they're all okay. No one sticks off as a really great play. Tatum had a big game last time out, at 7.5K. 47-51 fantasy points. He's been pretty solid. So if you want to continue to ride that hot streak, you can. I just don't feel super great about that price. I would like it if he was 7K or so, maybe a little bit less. Let's see. Other options at small forward. Again, Harrison Barnes, maybe you could look to if Bogdan misses. Another guy that's just low usage. He'll play big minutes, but doesn't really have huge upside. I think I would only consider him if Bogdan misses. Draymond still lists as questionable, so if he misses, then you can look to a lot of those Golden State guys. Even in a tough matchup, they're just all going to be asked to play huge minutes. Josh Richardson, this wouldn't really change too much for me if he misses. They started Furkan Korkmaz, and he's a lower usage guy, so I don't even think I would consider him. Slight boost to other guys, but nothing too big. Let's see. So Shaq Harrison had a huge game. He started in 26 minutes, so 45 fantasy points. Now, I don't think we can expect that again. 15 points, 5 assists, 11 boards, 3 steals, and a block. He is a guy that will get the peripheral stats. In the summer league, in the even playing last year, he was a guy that would fill up the stat sheet, would get those peripheral stats. At 5K though, it's kind of tough, right? I still think he is in consideration actually, but I would not expect him to get 45 fantasy points again. I think a fair expectation would be him to play 25 or so minutes and get 20 to 25 fantasy points. Let's see. Again, those Golden State guys, Glenn Robinson, I think he had an off game. He wouldn't be my favorite, a Golden State Warrior. We'll talk about other guys in a sec. I think it would be, if Draymond misses, my ranks for... Let me go to Golden State really quick. If Draymond misses, I think my favorite play would be Kai Bowman there, 5.2K. And then this is taking price into consideration. I think Bowman, Pascal, Burks, and then the cheap guys with Chris and Spellman. Cauley-Stein and Robinson will probably be my least favorite, and Poole. But again, like I said, if Draymond misses, it's an 8-man rotation. Those guys are going to be asked to play huge minutes. I think at least a couple of them will definitely get you there. But back to small forward. Temple's just okay at 4.4K. It's a good matchup. Right now, the slate doesn't have great value plays. Right? I think Kuzma is pretty solid. I think those Golden State guys are okay. So Garrett Temple would be someone if not a lot of value opens up throughout the day that I would consider, just because it's a good spot and he'll probably play 25 to 30 minutes. So yeah, I would consider him if there's not a whole lot of value that opens up. Joe Ingles and the Utah guys are in a great spot. The concern is the blowout risk. So They're fringe cash game viable just because of that risk, but if Golden State can somehow keep this one close, man, I think a couple of Utah guys could crush it. Let's see, other cheap options. Like I said, there's really, right now, there's not a whole lot of great options. Like Batum, I guess you can consider him in a good spot, but you're not going to feel great about that. And Korkmaz started, he played only 16 minutes. I couldn't do it, even if he starts again. Yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot of great value plays right now. Bacon, what was his minutes last time out? Only played 14, right? So the minutes are way down on him. I don't even think you can consider him. Alan Crabb, 20 minutes. Still, you're not going to feel great about that. So, yeah, I think that's basically it. So let's move on to shooting guard. Harden at the top at 11-7. I think this is another situation where we do get a low-owned Harden. He's been, kind of bad last few games, right? 66, 56, 50 fantasy points, at least for Harden standards. It's a slightly tougher match against the Clippers. We'll probably have Pat Beverly guarding him, but anytime you can get a low-owned Harden is great for GPP. So cash games, don't know if I would go there for GPPs. I think he's definitely worth consideration because I think he will be pretty low owned on this side. I think he was like 1 or 2% owned on that slate on Wednesday, even though he didn't get you there. Still, like a low owned Harden, he can go off in any matchup. So I think your guys making multiple lineups, you throw him in there for 1 or 2 just because he'll be super low owned. Doncic, so I love him here, even at this price at 11.4K. The concern here is the blowout. Once again, the Cavs, really, really bad. So there is legit blowout concerns in this one. But Luka in the game against Golden State, in 3 quarters, put up 75 fantasy points. He's just on fire right now. He fills up the stat sheet. No one on the Cavs will be able to stop him. The only thing that can stop him, in my opinion, is the blowout. So, yeah, I think he's a great spend up. It's just whether or not you want to risk it with, again, with the possibility of that blowout. Now, Beal's a guy I do like a good amount too, at 9.6K. This game in general, it's really appealing for, what's the over-under in this one? I think it's pretty high, right? 233, right? So there should be a lot of points scored in this one. 2 fast-paced teams that don't play a whole lot of defense. Great game script here for Beal. And he's got, 60, 70 fantasy point upside. So definitely someone I'm considering. It's a really good spot. You get him off discounts off like Doncic, Harden, LeBron if you want to save a little bit of money. So definitely, if you're going, maybe a little bit more of a balanced approach and kind of Beal's your top option, I definitely wouldn't mind that at all. There are some solid mid-tier guys. Again, Jimmy Butler I do like there too. So those 2 guys kind of in the tier below the stars are pretty appealing in my opinion. Donovan Mitchell, kind of the same thing, but again, there is blowout risk. We saw, though, like the Dallas guy, like Doncic, he crushed it in 3 quarters. So I think even if the game blows out, I think maybe 1 or 2 of those Utah guys could still get you there in limited time. So you got to consider these guys on the slate. It's just a great spot. And if Golden State can somehow keep it close, Utah could have a big day. Dinwiddie, the price is creeping up there, but I still don't think it's enough right now. He's the do-it-all guy with no Kyrie. He's going to play mid-30s minutes. It's a good spot here against the Kings. So I still think he's in consideration and still even at that 7.6K price tag. So Devontae Graham at 6.9K, just been playing really big minutes, right? That game blew out against Toronto, but other than that, 38, 36, and 38 minutes. It's a really good spot here against Washington. So I'm actually considering here at 6.9K. I do like the game in general. And again, he's playing huge minutes. Zach LaVine was a letdown. I talked about liking him, Laurie, and Wendell Carter Jr. on Wednesday. Wendell Carter Jr. and Laurie got you there. LaVine definitely did not, right? So the price at 6.7K, it's a pretty low price, but he's just been so up and down. So, yeah, I think you could go there for GPPs. I don't necessarily know if I'd go there for cash games, but again, the price is pretty appealing. And we know if he gets hot, like he will shoot the ball 15 to 20 times. Lou Williams, so again, with everyone healthy, I think he can still get you there at that price, but I wouldn't feel great about it. Let's see. So, again, those Golden State guys, Burks at 5.7K had a bit of a letdown game there against Dallas, but these guys are going to be asked to play huge minutes, so I would definitely consider him if Draymond misses. Schroeder was a guy I really liked the other day. Him and Rondo as cheap options. Played 30 minutes, got 36 fantasy points. It's just, we know he's going to come off the bench and be aggressive. Now that the price is coming up a bit, I don't think he's the greatest play. I definitely don't think he's cash game playable just because he's been so up and down. But I still think there is a bit of upside there for GPPs. Derrick Rose at 5.5K. Playing alongside like Blake now. Obviously Andre Drummond. They got like higher usage guys in that offense. Early in the season, it was just basically him and Andre, so Derrick Rose is a lot higher usage guy. So at this price and the way the minutes are right now, I wouldn't feel great about it. If he was playing closer to 30 minutes, then I would like him. But again, they're kind of limiting his minutes as of right now. Pat Beverly, so I talked about liking him there at 4.2K. Now he's at 5.4. Now last game he put up 57 fantasy points. That's an anomaly. We will not see that again from Pat Beverly. He played 41 minutes too. But they're going to need him to guard Harden. So at this price, again, I just don't feel great about a lot of these Clippers guys with everyone healthy, but I still think he is in consideration because he will be asked to play huge minutes against Harden. So, yeah, again, not my favorite play, but I still think he is playable. Let's see, like Bryn Forbes and Patty Mills, we could look to if Derek White misses once again. Derek White missed, and there are a lot of minutes to go around. Patty Mills started at point, played 30 minutes. But again, the prices went up on both these guys. So there would only be guys I would consider if Derek White misses once again. Other options, what were the minutes of Malik Monk? Again, the secondary Hornets guys are just tough. There's everyone healthy. So like besides Rozier and Devontae Graham, who are playing pretty consistent minutes, everyone else is just, no one's getting a lot of runs. So that's why it's kind of tough, even in a good spot against Washington, to consider these guys. Let's see. Other cheap options. Honestly, not a whole lot here. Poole, you could look to if Draymond misses again, played 30 minutes in the last game. He's a pretty scoring dependent. Hasn't been great this season. So Yogi Ferrell, again, we got Corey Joseph and Bogdan Bogdanovic. I believe, hold on, where's Corey Joseph? Yeah, so Corey and Bogdan are both questionable. If they both miss, they have like no other guards that can play. So Yogi would probably be asked to play huge minutes. He would be probably my favorite value play of the day if he starts. So that will be something we have to monitor going into tomorrow. But let's move on to point guard. Point guard at the top, we already talked about these top three guys. Again, I have no issue with Harden, Doncic, and LeBron. With Doncic and LeBron, there's a little bit of blowout risk. Harden, slightly tougher matchup, but any of the three, are perfectly fine if you want to get there. Trae Young at 9.4K, I actually kind of like this. He's had a string of pretty tough matchups. Lakers against Milwaukee, had like Bledsoe defense. Now he gets Detroit, so this is a better spot for him. And I think the price, there is upside on this price, right? Like early in the season, he was putting up like 60 fantasy points. So at this price at 9.4K, I don't think there's a lot of blowout risk in this one. Detroit hasn't been great. So yeah, I think Trae Young, I do kind of like the upside here at 9.4K. I think he goes a bit lower owned. So I'm considering him there. No Kyrie again, so we can look to Dinwiddie. Westbrook's still interesting here at 8.4K. I like the price on him. It's just a very, very low price. We know he's got the upside. He's got like 60, even 70 fantasy point upside in a tough matchup. Well, I guess I wouldn't say tough because I think Beverly will probably guard Harden, so probably won't be as tough a matchup for Westbrook. But either way, a really cheap price tag for Westbrook with the upside. So definitely someone I'm considering there at 8.4K. Kemba at 7.6 is okay. It's just Boston. No one I'm like super, super high on the Boston side. Let's see. Other options. Again, any of the Utah guys are very, very much in play. It's just you got to take that blowout into consideration for sure. Rozier, I do like the price here at 6.2K. It's a good spot. He was a little bit of a letdown there against Brooklyn in 33 minutes, only about 27 fantasy points. But the thing is, in close games, he's going to play like mid-30s minutes. And this is a really, really good spot. So him, Devontae Graham, and then on the other side, you could look to like running it back with Beal if you want to run a game stack. Wouldn't mind that at all. And we know Rozier has upside already. Put up 50 fantasy points already once this season. So I think he's very, very much in play there at 6.2K. Kendrick Nunn at 6.2, also very viable. The game against Cleveland blew out and played 25 minutes. Before that, though, 37, 37, and 39 minutes. So, yeah, I don't mind him there at 6.2K. DeJounte Murray actually came out the bench, only played 19 minutes, but was pretty solid. I think I would only consider him if he starts, but still, they're limiting his minutes, so you definitely can't go there for cash games. Goran Dragic's an interesting GPP play. He's going to come off the bench, play 25 to 30 minutes. He will be aggressive, so another guy that I think is worth consideration for GPPs. Kai Bowman, I would really like him if he starts, at the point guard. He would just be asked to play big minutes, probably 30 to 35 minutes. I know it's a tougher matchup, but I think one or two of these Golden State guys will definitely get you there if Draymond does miss that game. Isaiah Thomas, don't mind him there at 5.1. The price is somewhat down on him. It's a really good spot. Not going to play huge minutes, but I think we can get like 25 to 30 minutes out of him. And at that price, I think he does have a little bit of upside, so definitely don't mind Isaiah there. Rondo, I do like this price on him a good amount. 4.6K. Played 27 minutes in that last game against OKC. Put up 24 fantasy points. He's just a guy that doesn't have to score to get you there. And with no minutes limit right now, I think he plays 25, maybe even 30 minutes. So I do like him a decent amount here at 4.6K. But I think that is basically it. Yeah. So, it is very important, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I will be giving my thoughts as we get news throughout the day. Unfortunately, tomorrow I'll not be able to live stream. Got to stay late at work. This will be the last time, though, I will have to stay late at work for a while. So, that's a good thing. I will be able to stream, going into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So, unfortunately, again, though, I will not be able to live stream. I will probably do the same thing as I have been when I can't live stream, which is tweet out my player pool. So another reason why it's important to follow me on Twitter. But, yeah, thanks again for coming out to check out the video, guys. I really do appreciate it. Again, I'll be back for the video on Saturday to break down the NBA slate, as well as I'll probably have my video up breaking down the NFL main slate. Probably have that up tomorrow as well, so be on the lookout for that. But thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you later.